Hello, my friends. So, I welcome you again to another session. And in today's session, I have asked about three things in particular, okay? The first thing that I have channeled the Galactic Federation and asked about is about, what and who is behind this conflict which is happening in Russia and Ukraine. And the other thing is, what can we do to help them? Okay, so, is there a way that, we can help them? So, yeah, in this session, the Galactic Federation, they have discussed about that aspect. And the other thing is, Galactic Federation has also given us certain insights. And I think, if we understand these insights, okay, if we understand these, the type of, things that were discussed in the session, if you understand them and if you apply them, then possibly, we will graduate and this will be our last incarnation on this Earth planet. So I believe, this session will possibly open your eyes. And if you are new to this channel, here I post channeling sessions, and you can, sometimes, you have to use the discernment because the information is coming in the form of this, thought form communication from the location. The location of the Galactic Federation, they said, is in the Saturn planet. So of course, there is a distance over there, but I believe, it's happening for us to understand, the type of concepts they are sharing in the session. So the other thing they talk about in this session is about, the law of, there is something known as the law of rhythmic catalyst. And, this was one of those, things that I found really interesting, okay, because the law of rhythmic catalyst, I have, firstly, I have never heard about this phrase before. So, and also, the concept is really brilliant if you understand it. And, more important than just understanding is to apply it, because, there are many people who just listen to information, but they don't apply it. And, if you don't apply it, you don't actually learn it, right? You don't actually, use it in your life. Okay. So I think, it's vitally important that we not only understand the information, but we also apply it. So the other thing that they talk about, which I asked, was about, what is a soul family, okay, and what are soul groups, and they have explained, about soul families and soul groups in this session as well. So I hope all of you will enjoy the session. And before we begin the session, I would like to say a big thank you to all of you who like the video. It helps to reach out to more people who need it. And at the end of the session, I'm going to say a big thank you to a person who sent me this gift. So at the end of the session, I'll open this. So with that being said, here's the session. Enjoy it, my friends. We are the Galactic Federation, now communicating through the vibrations of this channel, who has allowed it to act as a receptor of our messages and to provide information to the human collective consciousness. We, as the Galactic Federation, having our seat in the Saturn Council, are very concerned with the current situation of your planetary vibration. As we can sense, there are many people on your planet who have been involved in the conflict of the Yellow Ray Energy Center. Upon your planetary sphere, there is a large number of distortions of this type of the Yellow Ray energy vibration, which has led to conflicts in the planetary sphere. And there are people who are fighting for their life in your space-time. Before we, the Galactic Federation, proceed to answer the queries which are in the mind of this instrument, we would like to warn each of you who will come forth and receive this message to use discernment and exercise the free will which has been granted to you by the one infinite creator, which will allow you to experience the ever expansion and the expansiveness into the higher dimensions of reality. This will allow each of you who is currently situated and learning the lessons of transitioning into the higher vibration to become more and more actively oriented towards the vibratory patterns of unity, and also towards the vibratory patterns of realizing that consciousness is the one and only factor which determines the type of situations which you experience on the Earth planet. Currently, there is a situation upon your planetary sphere between the two nations on your space-time illusion complex, which are engaged in the confrontation created by imbalances in the yellow ray energy body. Specifically, this is created in the groups of your people's consciousness who desire to be right always, and they desire to always maintain dignity without having love and compassion for the other. Because of this lack of love and compassion for the other has led to the creation of the situation upon which the Earth planet currently finds itself in. This is, however, created and instigated by the Martian, so-called Anunnaki forces, who had soul swapped with the entities, the leaders of the two nations, and these two entities who had signed soul contracts with them in the past days for the purpose of spreading negativity, fear, and also for letting the Earth planet to reside and slow its progress towards the fourth density vibration. Because of this soul swap with a negatively polarized entity of the Anunnaki collective, these two entities, who are the leaders of the nations, have inflicted damage upon the people who are not related in any way to such conflicts. However, their main purpose is to create a type of global situation. Therefore, we as the Galactic Federation would like to warn each entity upon your planetary sphere to use your consciousness to take away your attention from such an event. However, the best way is to ignore the events and to act inside your consciousness as if everything is peaceful. But this may be considered hard when the situations are showing the opposite on the outside world. Therefore, we would like to state now a method which can be used to handle this type of situation. This method is used by many entities, not only from the Earth planets, but also in other galaxies, for the purpose of raising their consciousness level to the next timeline which they want to experience. This is known as the frame of reference of your consciousness. What this means is that each entity has the choice to either create the frame of reference to the outside world or to create the frame of reference to be with the inner images or the imagination sequences. This is the fourth density thinking. Once entities are able to base their frame of reference during the waking daytime, their consciousness, depending upon the memories of the past, they are in the third density stream of old reality consciousness, and the future will be projected outwards in a similar manner. However, the best way for entities to navigate through such a situation is to ignore the occurrence of the 3D reality and then to firstly realize that they can create a type of situation inside their imagination wherein there is peace and harmony within all the nations involved. And based upon that stream of consciousness, if entities believe in it during their waking daytime and derive their consciousness from that stream of memory and take the fourth density consciousness of your imagination thought forms to be the reality, this will then create peace and harmony in the long run. This is a method which can be exercised at the current time to allow the fourth density reality thinking to operate in your current space-time and to allow this reality to engage and follow through with the activation and the allowance of a higher timeline distortion. This will give rise to a greater and greater facilitation of its incarnation rhythm of each entity towards the type of timeline they want to experience. However, the choice of your planet is with all of you. We as the Galactic Federation, along with the Council,
have decided that we will not infringe upon the planetary sphere this time, since the infringements of the last times have caused much damage to not only the planetary consciousness but also the people of your planet. Therefore, this time we would prevent such intrusions by non-infringement, and our message today is a mark of giving each entity the choice to choose what they want to experience on the planet. The choice is yours in this regard. Now we shall share with you another type of explanation of consciousness, which is known as the law of rhythmic catalyst, which is present upon your planetary sphere. Each entity who has incarnated on the Earth planet is currently in a situation in which it finds itself in, a situation which allows the law of rhythmic catalyst to occur. Since everything that rises must also fall back slightly for the second rise to occur. This is the same law which applies to the law of rhythmic catalysts, which means that the catalyst which you experience on the third density reality is firstly created based upon the catalyst and your vibration, which is balanced to a certain level. If your vibration is balanced to a certain level of around 500 level in the consciousness scale as measured by a people of love and of the heart-centeredness, this will then allow you to receive catalysts of a similar nature, and whenever you receive a catalyst, it will be of that level of vibration, and you will not receive any catalysts of a lower vibration. You must also remember that as you begin to transcend and ascend into higher levels of consciousness, the catalyst you receive from the outside world will begin to change, and it will become less and less difficult for you as you ascend higher, because with the ascension there is no need for catalysts to allow you to recognize your true essence, since you have already achieved that recognition. This is the law of the rhythmic balance, for everything that rises must also rest and fall down for the second rise to arise. Everything that goes up must also come down for it to go up again. And everything there is a balance or a rhythm of back and forth, of connection and disconnection, which allows the second time of connection to occur. By following this law, each entity can experience the type of catalyst they desire, and to remember that the catalyst they are facing on the current timeline is but their own choice, which they have created based upon the vibrations they entertained inside their mind complex. The other query, which is in the mind space projection of this instrument, pertains to the soul groups or soul family. In this regard, we are now going to share that soul groups and soul families are those souls who had incarnated not only on this current planetary sphere but in various other timelines. They find themselves together, either incarnated as different relatives or individuals who are related to each other because of their incarnation patterns in the past life cycle. Being together, their vibrations become similar in nature, and such entities, they will also have a very high likelihood to meet in this planetary sphere based upon synchronicity of their vibration, which allows such entities to encounter each other. Sometimes such encounters may seem as a synchronous moment of vibration matching or a vibration tuning. This is possible only when the entities are part of a soul family and a soul group and have a certain mission on this planetary sphere in this timeline. There are many soul families and soul groups who are operating from the fourth density wanderer level vibration at this current time, and we are the Galactic Federation, leaving you now in the love of the one infinite creator. Bye.
So my friends, I hope you enjoyed this session, and in the session, it was discussed about, how and why, this conflict is happening in between Russia and Ukraine. And the Galactic Federation said that it is happening because I believe, the Anunnaki forces who are in the Martian planet, okay, who are forced to stay in the Martian planet, I believe. these forces who are of the negative orientation, they are trying to influence humanity to distract us from becoming more positive. Okay, so in this session, what this said is, the best way for us to solve this situation is to firstly, we gotta ignore it. Now this may be very hard to understand, but this is what they said. Okay, so they said, we have to ignore it, and in place of conflict, we have to put peace. Okay, so inside our mind, okay, even if there is a conflict going outside, okay, inside our mind we must believe that there is peace and harmony. So what they said is, they also said about a frame of reference of consciousness. So I think what they are saying here is that we can either make the frame of reference the outside world, and we can believe what the outside world is saying. Okay, we can have memories of what happened yesterday, what happened, what is happening right now, and that will be the frame of reference from the outside world. And they said the other frame of reference we can create is a fourth density type of thinking, which is to create the frame of reference from your inner images. So if internally, okay, for example, there is conflict outside, okay, but you want to see peace, so internally you create peace in your imagination whenever you do it. Okay, whenever you are doing meditation or whenever you are sleeping, you create peace in your mind, and then you take that as a frame of reference, and then you believe it. You believe it even during your waking daytime. Whenever you look back at your memory, you believe that there is peace already. Okay, and then you take that as your frame of reference for your continuation of the incarnation. Then you will see a change. This is what they said, and I believe the more we do this, the more it will be easier for us to see peace and harmony, all of that good stuff, because we don't want conflict, right? Conflict is not, it's really like low level stuff, and the reason why it's occurring is because they said the imbalance in the yellow ray, which is primarily the egoic center for all of us. So I believe this is a conflict of ego between some groups of people. So I hope it solves out soon. So of course the other thing they said is about the law of rhythmic catalyst. So in this regard, I'm going to share with you what I understood is they said, that there is a rhythm in everything. Okay, there is an ebb and flow. So sometimes the ebb and flow is like it's going up or it's going down. Okay, and for something to go up, it has to go down also. And they said how this works is based upon your vibration. So I think if you have a certain vibration, okay, if you have already done meditation work, or if you have already done some work on yourself and your vibration is in the positive, so what will happen is you will not go to the lower end of the spectrum of vibration of your consciousness, but you will stay at the lower end of the vibration where you are at. So the vibration of love, if you are at the vibration of love, for example, okay, what will happen is you will have an ebb and flow. You will sometimes be like super loving, you'll feel this loving energy within yourself, and other times you will feel less love. Okay, but you'll not go down, okay, in consciousness. What they said is the law of rhythmic catalyst is also dependent upon your vibration. You will receive the catalyst, and now whenever you are receiving a catalyst, it is for the purpose of allowing you to expand your consciousness to reach the higher level. For example, if you have already reached a higher level, so the catalyst is not needed. At that time, the catalyst will not be needed. And I believe, when we do this properly, this will be our last incarnation on this planet. When we understand this concept, okay, we will graduate into the next fourth density level. So this is what was said in the session, okay. The other thing that they talked about is the soul families and soul groups. Now, I think this was really fascinating. What they said is, there are certain soul families or groups of, souls which have incarnated together on the Earth planet also. And, they have incarnated not only on this planet, but on other planets as well. So maybe they have a mission on this planet. Okay, maybe their mission is to help, help raise the planetary vibration, or maybe, help raise the consciousness of the human collective. I don't know. Okay, so this is what they said in the session. And the other thing they said is, the soul families or soul groups, they most likely meet, on the planet based on their vibration, based on synchronicities in their life. And this is what I understood from the session. So with that being said, let me open up the gift which was sent to me from this gift. Actually came from I believe it came from China. So awesome, thank you so much. So let's see what's inside over here. So inside here, as you can see, it's a beautiful gift, and also I have a letter. So first let me see the gift. Okay, okay, it looks like a nice jumper. Okay, it's a nice jumper with breathe written on it, so it's amazing. And the other thing is there is something known as Yes We Vibe. So let's see what's inside here. So I've seen a letter, so let's read what's in here. So okay, so this is a letter, okay, from okay, so this is how the Yes We Vibe thing was created. So it's not a letter from the people who sent it, but I think, you know, the person who sent it is Mo and Laini. Okay, so I want to say big thank you to Mo and Laini for sending me these gifts. And yeah, really amazing, you know, like all of this, I believe these are discount coupons and stuff. And also, yeah, very nice picture with a thank you written on it. So yeah, I'm also really grateful for sending me these gifts. And I want to say big thank you to all of you also for watching the video and, you know, being open-minded to receive such information, because, you know, sometimes it may seem a bit weird. I understand. And the other thing is that, you know, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you who are supporting me on Patreon, because where I'm sharing content almost on a daily basis. Okay, and the other thing is I want to say big thank you to all of you who have also sent me requests for past live sessions, which I'm conducting whenever I get free time. So with that being said, thank you so much all of you, and stay safe out there, and see you in the next session.